you should be engaging the people in the community that you interact with, and that makes it much easier. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but it makes it easier when you just treat them as you would your friends and loved ones, because that's actually who they are.
Students have interacted with us in all levels of the food bank, from the very rudimentary of coming to help us sort the donations we get through our product rescue center, which is at the back end of the warehouse. And some students also do all the way up to special projects that they do for either their classes, through various social work, or just general community programs. We now host a group of honor scholars from AUC Center on a regular basis. We've recently started some internships at the food bank, so students come in through that as well. Most recently, I've begun work helping to improve fresh and healthy food distributions to the west side neighborhoods of English Avenue and Vine City. We have a group that meets about monthly, and now we're at the point where we have met as service providers, but we would like to not tell the community what we would like them to have. We would like to hear it from the community. And rather than have the general meetings sort of like this, we've worked with Professor DeSalvo from Georgia Tech and a few others, and so we are doing a different spin on it. So we're going to do a YouTube project where we go out to the community and film people telling me what they would like to see in their food oasis.
There are stories that need to be captured in all of our West Side communities, but definitely within the Proctor Creek watershed, where kids used to be able to play, people used to be able to safely fish, and people used to be baptized there. But now we see a creek in a watershed that is severely impaired and polluted. But it's good for us to try to get those stories, and so we could use the help of students who could help us with some, oral history and some video projects where we are interviewing some of the older residents of the community, of the watershed, to get those snatches of their wisdom, but also to understand what this area used to be like before the neglect, before the disinvestment, and before all of the economic and environmental disparities started to sort of set in. That there are opportunities for community-based participatory research, research in which community folks can work hand in hand with students and other people within academia to answer some critical questions, things that can help inform some of the current development conversations that are happening and some of the current projects that are sort of on tap to happen in the West Side areas. So there are lots of opportunities, and hopefully some of what has been said today will spark some of your interest and give you an avenue to try to get engaged.
Put my colleague on the spot, Dan Immerglund. He's one of the world's foremost authorities on that foreclosure crisis. His office is right there. We have humanitarian experts on humanitarian disaster relief. They're right there. People on sickle cell disease, they're right there at Morehouse School of Medicine. I mean, so the experts are here. The students who work and study with those people are here. So give the universities an agenda.
Support local higher initiatives even on your campus. Building safe and affordable housing in the neighborhood. Urban gardens, there's a ton of urban gardens. I see a space over there to register your food network. Helping to start and support business incubator centers. So imagine if this whole room was filled with tables with students and communities deciding on one issue: what businesses will be created today? And then just have that one day for the best minds to get together, community and students, to come up with at least one or two businesses that could then be funded. Whether it's Atlanta University Center or Georgia State or Georgia Tech, are those foundation dollars being used for community purposes? When you have your fundraisers, and I know we love to have fundraisers on campus, are any of those funds or portion of those funds going back to the communities that you drive by on the way to the fundraiser? So what I just suggest is come outside of the classroom and really engage in the communities that surround you, because they need you and want you. You have intellectual capital that you're using to get your great grades, and we're glad you're doing that. But use that intellectual capital to really help someone every day.
Open up your research laboratories. I think there are opportunities to get engaged in research, and as you are engaging in research, reach out to some of the community-based organizations. Let's find opportunities to integrate local community knowledge with traditional scientific knowledge. Georgia Tech is obviously doing something well in terms of the way that it's reaching out. Why not let Georgia Tech try to convene and bring some of the other institutions to the table?